The story starts with only one person on a boat in what looks like a deserted jungle. Just when you feel like there's no one around, a light turns on. It seems like its old billboard. The main character goes into a building that looks empty, except for spooky zombies hanging from the ceiling. But it seems that this place is not empty. There is a group of various monsters sitting around a campfire. They start surrounding him around. Without a flinch, he demands to see their leader. Out of RV, our main character meets their named Malik. Malik thinks that his chainsaw will beat Colin's sword, but he is wrong. Our main character put up a fight, but he wasn't even trying, which make Malik mad. Indecisive Colin slashed Malik. In a very bright light, Malik dies. Soon after, a rat came up to Colin and told him to be careful. He was an old wizard. The scene moves to a futuristic and chaotic New York City, being introduced with a cool guitar sound. It seemed this character was able to see the light that Colin caused with his company. He seems to be cautious. As Colin walks across a bridge, mean guards and their robot friends rudely stop him. We see that Colin is a person who hunts people for money. He showed them the head of the monster that have bounty on his head. They don't seem to be very happy about him. As he see that he took a stance, but he's stoked to see what is going to happen. We find out that a very dangerous virus has killed 80% of the people, and the vaccine is the only hope for those who remain. As they arrived in the middle of the town, Colin manages to break free from being held captive easily and managed to survive the crash. As he was taking his stuff, he meets a young boy named Joe. He asked him where he could find the nearest bar and left. Colin goes to a dark bar and meets Dahlia, who has definitely reminded him the person he is interested in romantically in the story. Before some times ago, we see Colin's earlier time where he meets a lady named Moya in a time after the Roman Empire. Colin, who was once very brave and admired by others, shows his love for this new woman. After the Pathé party, Colin and his lover Moya goes to his place. Even though Colin and Moya were having a drink together, she does something bad to Colin. She gives him drugs that make him fall asleep. Moya was trying to save her people by herself. She goes to enemy hideout pretending to sell herself. Thus she get a chance to kill their leader Marcus. As she get a chance to get alone with him, she stabbed him and left running. For her surprise, he is immortal. He caught her before she got away. After that, he makes her watch as he completely destroys her tribe. Colin wakes up to the sound, destruction, and violence. He grabs a sword to fight, but the drug that Moya gave him makes him weak to use it well and gets stuck under a falling building. His army is also doing poorly and has suffered severe losses. Colin somehow manages to stay alive and sees that Moya is very close to death. Moya asks Colin to promise not to seek revenge before passing away in Colin's arms. In a surprising turn of events, Colin decides to take revenge in secret. The story goes back to Colin in the bar, comparing Dahlia to his ex-girlfriend, Moya. The police are looking for Colin, thus he goes with Dahlia to a broken building where they are safe. Dahlia asks Colin to join her in rescuing the city. In another part of the country where the government has control, that officials are talking about making their authority even bigger. Marcus Octavius, who is now in charge, forces his scientists to make bioweapons. The police are searching for Colin in the city, so he is hiding in an old and rundown subway. A secret entrance shows to a hideout where rebels hide. The rebels told Colin that only people living in the tower are getting the vaccine, which puts everyone else at risk. Dahlia invites him to her house, but Colin says no because he knows that there are hidden reasons behind her invitation. Dahlia asks him to help her steal the vaccines, but Colin refuses and goes away. When Colin and Dahlia go above the surface, Colin finds out that Marcus is in charge of the city. We will explore Colin's past again as he forcefully attacks a Roman outpost to catch Marcus. After a very intense argument, Marcus asks Colin to have a fair fight with him. Colin tries hard, but Marcus hurts him badly. But the horse that he was on continue running until Colin falls down at Stonehenge. Marcus was not able to pass through the rocks for some reason. Colin was not dead or alive at this point. After countless day and night, he came back to life. Soon after, he meets a ghost named Armacan, but he realizes he was not a human. Armacan explains to him that the Romans are no longer alive, but Marcus is an everlasting being who is much stronger than Colin. Armacan explains that immortals become more powerful by cutting off the heads of other immortals and absorbing their energy, which is known as a quickening. Most importantly, Colin cannot have children now. Colin is still seeking revenge, and we go back to the present day. Now he is very willing to assist Dahlia in sneaking into the tower. The two people secretly enter the place using a concealed entrance, and there are many of them in the area. They meet Joe, who really wants to join them. Joe's alarm clock goes off, causing a very large and scary crocodile to wake up. Connie he quickly kills the monster by cutting off its head and manages to save Dahlia's life just in time. The three people come across a group of guards, and Colin decides to attack instead of trying to sneak past them. He quickly defeats the guards before accidentally enter a room that appears to be a science lab. Dahlia is pointing a gun at everyone, making them hand over the vaccine they are making. However, one of the top scientists is behaving very strangely. They have been developing a virus that cannot be stopped by vaccines. It seems like these people caused the pandemic, and Dahlia makes the creepy guy unconscious. Colin has a feeling that Marcus is nearby and decides to leave the other two people so he can fight Marcus again. He uses a really big elevator to reach him, probably the largest one in the world. We go back to when Colin was in the past, and he is running into a place that looks like a big stadium. He discovers Octavius and faces him again. Octavius talks for a long time before they start fighting again. Colin cannot compete with him and is about to have his head cut off when some soldiers rush in and make Marcus retreat. After some time in another battlefield, and then to another one, Colin always attempts to locate Marcus so he can get back at him. Each time he is unsuccessful, thus he starts over and creates a new life for himself. Then he dies seeking vengeance. Once, Colin joined Viking to fight along with them. After he dies in the battle, they saw him come back to life. Their leader helps him avoid getting punished. This is the reason he is called Highlander, because he lives his life repeatedly for 1,000 years, attempting to seek vengeance. He meets Marcus in Japan again, but Marcus is much stronger than him. Now, he manages to stay alive because a building falls and separates them. We also see him as a pilot in World War I, quickly getting on Marcus's plane before it explodes. He wakes up once more in a church, a sacred place where Marcus can't harm him. Marcus is thinking about whether Colin has done anything in the past 2,000 years. Marcus tells Colin to search for something else in his life that is good for someone who lacks empathy. We go back to the present day where Dahlia and Joe are still trying to get away. Dahlia successfully jumps to a safe place, and then Colin faces Marcus once more. Marcus easily avoids all of Colin's attacks before being teased and thrown back. They fought again before Marcus throws Colin through a window and stabs him with his sword. Then they fight each other near a tall building. After that, Marcus makes Colin fall down from the top of the building. He arrives directly in front of Dahlia and Joe. Joe takes the vaccine and Dahlia looks at Joe's lifeless body. When she is about to go, Colin suddenly becomes alive again. Dahlia pulls his injured body out of the tower while Colin finally explains to her why he is here and why he wants to kill Marcus. The two are almost caught by guards, but luckily, the guards have really bad aim and can't hit their target. Dahlia used a grenade to blow up the tunnel and then quickly got away. She falls to the ground and then starts thinking about all the difficult things Colin has experienced. We can imagine Colin talking to Armageddon in his thoughts. He is at her grave while Arma mentions that Moya has been reborn many times throughout history, but Colin has been too focused on one thing to notice it. Her song is currently in Dahlia. Colin wakes up in their secret place, and their wounds are all better. Everyone is very surprised at how well he has recovered, but it makes them feel hopeful that even things that seem impossible can actually happen. All the people are coming together to fight against the people who are treating them unfairly. Dahlia does not want Colin to engage in a fight, but he still decides to pick up the sword. We go back to Marcus, who discovers that the latest virus is now broken. He tells his followers to stop the rebels. We see Dahlia in her room while Colin tries to find her. He shows appreciation to her for helping him, and Dahlia confirms that she is still determined to fight even though she is not mortal. They sleep together after that. While Dahlia is sleeping, Colin locks her room to protect her and head off to fight. The soldiers of the government are walking on the street while the rebels are paying attention to them. Colin says that the only way to win is by killing Marcus, because everyone else needs to delay. Joe points out another secret way to get into the tower to the Colin. The rebels tried to shoot, but they didn't hit their target. After that, the fighting began. Dahlia wakes up and realizes she is trapped in her room. She finally succeeds in breaking through while Colin attempts to enter the tower again. He needs to get past a group of soldiers, but he succeeds by being clever and sneaky. The only thing he will have before Marcus's assistant finds him is a helicopter. There was a big blast, and Marcus took advantage of it to start running. The assistant chases him, but Dahlia is able to make her helicopter crash. She gets shot many times while Dahlia tries to protect her. Colin and Marcus express their love for each other before Colin heads off to battle against Marcus. The person who was rebelling was not able to hit the slowest tank at first, but eventually succeeded in hitting it. Many rocket launchers are pointed towards the tower at the highest point. Marcus and Colin face each other. Marcus says he will use the virus to harm all people in just 2 minutes if Colin cannot prevent him. Colin and Marcus fight, and Colin is not as strong as his opponent, which is not surprising. Time is running out, and Colin is unable to stop the virus in time, while Marcus stabs saves him. Dahlia is stabbed by the assistant, who has somehow come back to life. The virus kills all the rebels. Dahlia puts a bomb into her mouth and explodes it, killing herself along with the bomb. Colin knows she has passed away and finds one final burst of energy to get up. The two are in a fight, and Colin manages to gain control over Marcus and defeat him by breaking his sword and cutting off his head. Big powerful waves break and ruin both the tall building and the group of soldiers. The quickening also gets rid of the virus, which helps to rescue the rebels. Colin lights a candle for Dahlia and then leaves once more. If you enjoy this video, subscribe to enjoy video like this every week.